If you've ever walked off the tennis court feeling frustrated that your serve let you down, then this video is for you. And it's not because you haven't invested enough time into tennis or because you haven't had the tennis lessons. It's because no one's shown you the real reason your serve isn't where it should be. In today's video, that changes. Over the course of this challenge so far, I've shown you a completely different way of looking at serve development. And before you started this challenge, you may have thought that technique alone was the only thing holding back your serve. And you may have thought that if you found the right drill, the right coach, and the right tips for your serve, then that would change everything. I've introduced you to Phil, Jag, and Tom, who have all had lessons and spent a lot of time trying to tweak their serving technique to be able to generate more power. However, behind every technical flaw was a physical restriction which was actually capping their serving speed. Now, I have a serious offer to make you. And this isn't some influencer hack to help you to instantly be able to bomb aces past your opponents. This is a serious offer that I've made to players like George, Charlotte, Jonathan, and Niklas. George was able to drop 6 pounds of body fat in 6 weeks and add 10 miles per hour more in serving speed. Charlotte used to feel self-conscious about wearing certain tennis outfits, but now gets complimented on how lean, toned, and athletic she looks. Jonathan took tennis very seriously, but his physical capabilities didn't match how seriously he took tennis. But there's now alignment between how he moves on the court and his physical stature and how serious he is as a tennis player. Niklas was able to drop 6 pounds of fat, which helped him to move better and add more speed on court. All these players are exactly where you are now, and they all use the exact same principles and methods that I've used to help hundreds of tennis players transform not only their technique, but their whole physical presence on court. Now I want to step off court for a second and talk to you directly about something important. I know what's been going through your mind. You love tennis and you put years into the sport, but currently there's a disconnect between the player that you want to be and the player you are now. And this gap is showing up the most when it comes to your serve. Your serve may be letting you down in tight situations, like when you're serving out for a match, or perhaps when you're down a break point in a tie break. It's in these moments where instead of feeling confident stepping up to the baseline, you feel nervous and anxious. You also feel an element of frustration watching your opponents and other players in your club serving effortlessly, despite not having more talent or being physically more able than you. There's also a disconnect between how seriously you take tennis and your actual physical ability and your movement on the tennis court. But here's what I know about you guys from the 5 days of this challenge so far. And having spoken to a lot of you, I know that it's about more than just adding some mile per hour to your serve. It's also about developing a physique that matches all the time, effort, and dedication that you put into tennis over the years. And it's about becoming leaner, faster, more athletic, and feeling more confident both on the court and off the court as well. And when you're genuinely proud of your tennis game and your physique, that positive energy shows up everywhere. When you're hanging out with your friends and family, in your relationship, when you're at work, because that's what's on offer here. It's not just about adding power to your serve. It's also about completely transforming your physique and your fitness on court. I'm assuming that's what you want because you're still here watching now. So the question becomes, why haven't you achieved it yet? Because I'm sure you've probably tried some version of this in the past. You've probably attempted to improve your serve and your physical fitness but been unsuccessful. But it hasn't been your fault because you've been given the wrong tools. The fitness industry gave you generic gym plans, bodybuilding workouts, and movements in isolation. None of these help tennis players to address the sport-specific demands of tennis. Similarly, tennis coaching and the coaching world have focused entirely on technique without helping you to address the underlying physical restrictions that may be preventing you from executing proper technique. And that's why you may have seen your strength increasing in the gym, but that strength doesn't show up in your serve power or how you move around the court, because none of these things were designed for you as an individual. And none of these things address what was actually holding back your serve. And that's why it didn't work. Not because you weren't trying hard enough, but because you were solving the wrong problem. And that all changes today. So what's the solution? What actually works? In 6 weeks, you could have 5 to 10 miles per hour more in serve speed, 5 to 10 pounds less body fat, a leaner physique, more muscle mass, and more energy and confidence every time you step onto the tennis court. But only if you address the right things in the right order. And that's exactly what the Court Fit program does. 4 pillars working together in the same system, and that's what makes it different to everything that you've tried in the past. Pillar 1 is mobility. Before anything else, we'll systematically unlock any restrictions or tightnesses which could be capping your serving speed. And you saw that with Tom, Jag and Phil, when we were able to reduce the tightnesses and get them into the proper power position during their serve, they were able to unlock more power. So that's where it all starts, and everything else follows. Pillar 2 is strength, not generic gym strength or bodybuilding strength, the type of strength that translates to powerful court movement and explosive serves. Pillar 3 is rotational power. This will help you to develop explosive ground strokes and serves, helping you to hit more aces and hit more winners. Pillar 4 is technique analysis and drills. This is what most tennis fitness programs leave out. Personalized feedback on your serving technique, like what you saw me do with Jag, Phil and Tom. I'll help you to identify the flaws in your technique, as well as the underlying physical restrictions that might be preventing you from getting into the proper serving positions. And also specific and bespoke drills to help you to groove the correct movement patterns. Most programs will give you 1 or 2 pillars and then leave you to figure the rest out. The Court Fit program gives you all 4 in one complete system, because if you leave out any one of the pillars, you'll be leaving results on the table. And finally, nutrition. Not super restricted diets or calorie counting. The Court Fit nutrition method teaches you how to eat sustainable and healthy meals, which will help to both sustain your performance on court, as well as help you to maintain a healthy body weight and lose fat. Now, before I go through exactly what I have on offer for you today, I want to go through 3 things that may be going through your mind right now. Because I've had this conversation with lots of tennis players, and I know there are 3 main objections that they have. The first is time. You may be thinking to yourself that you haven't got the time to dedicate to this program on top of your tennis schedule and your busy family and work life. But this program is built to be as time efficient as possible and only requires 3 45-minute sessions per week. And in that time, we can skyrocket the speed of your serve and improve your movement. Second, you may be doubting whether this will actually work for you. And you may be thinking that your situation is different. And you've tried stuff in the past that hasn't worked out, so why would this be any different? Every single player that I've worked with has thought their situation was unique. But across all the players I've worked with, there are common underlying physical restrictions that hold all of them back. So I've become very efficient at identifying these restrictions and helping tennis players to solve them. And for whatever reason, if this doesn't work for you, then I have a guarantee, but we'll come to that in a second. The third is the investment. Now, I'm going to cover numbers in just a second, but you should know this. The investment in the Court Fit program is significantly less than what most tennis players will spend on lessons in a month. And those lessons are only addressing the surface level issues, whereas the Court Fit program addresses what's the underlying physical restrictions that are actually capping your serve speed. And with the Court Fit program, you address both the technical and also the physical aspects of your game. So the question isn't, can you afford this? The question is, can you afford not to? So over the past few years, I've worked with hundreds of tennis players to help them to improve the power of their serve, improve their movement, and become overall more effective tennis players. And this is a process that I've refined over time. And I've got it to a point where it's almost as effective as what it could be. And as long as someone comes in and they follow the system in a way that I've laid it out, it's almost impossible for them not to see the results that they're looking for. So pause this video, go grab yourself a pen and paper, because you're going to want to write this down. Here's exactly what's on offer. When you join the Court Fit program, you get 6 weeks of personalized coaching built around all 4 pillars: physical training, the Court Fit nutrition method, serve analysis, and serving drills. And all of these are bespoke and tailored to you in your individual situation, your serve, your current fitness level, and your current physical restrictions. Here's exactly what that will look like. In week 1, I'll analyze your serve. Exactly what you saw me do with Phil, Jag and Tom. We'll also do a more in-depth physical screening so I can see what joints and what tightnesses in your body might be restricting your serving speed. I'll then design a program to help address these weaknesses and these tightnesses. We'll also measure your baseline serving speed using the Swing Vision software. And then we'll reassess your serving speed at week 6 of the program, so you'll get clear and objective data as to how much your serve has improved by. From there, you'll get a training plan that fits into your life. And before you start, we'll agree on the the number of training sessions, and also the length of each training session to make sure that the plan fits seamlessly into your schedule. The program will also account for your current fitness levels and your physical restrictions. The program will also progress week to week to make sure you're always making smooth and consistent progress. Every week, I'll be checking in with you personally to review your progress, update your training program, and answer any questions that you may have. So you're never left wondering what to do next. And then in week 6, we'll film your serve again and lay that footage side by side with your footage from week 1, so you can see visually how much your serve has improved, both in the power you can generate, the reduction of technique flaws, and also in the improvements of physical restrictions and tightnesses. Now here's the investment. The CourtFit program usually retails at £197. But because you spent the last 5 days with me learning how I work and learning how the CourtFit system operates, you can join today for just £147. That's £50 off the usual price for challenge participants who sign up before the end of the challenge. I'm also capping it at a maximum of 5 spots. And that's not fake scarcity. That's because it takes me a long time to make everyone's program from scratch and also to analyse all the serving footage. So if I want to provide a world-class service, I can't take on any more than 5 new clients. Also a split pay option, which means that you can get started today for just £75. Now here's my guarantee for you. If you show up and do the work and don't see at least a 5 mile per hour increase in serve speed, I will work with you for free until you do. Now I'm putting my reputation and my time on the line with that guarantee, but it shows how confident I am in my system, and I've seen this system work for tennis players just like you. When you join the CourtFit program, you get 4 things. 1 is accountability, someone checking in on you and making sure that you're doing what you set out to do. And without accountability, most people will revert back to old habits and make no progress. However, with accountability, with someone checking in on you and making sure that you're doing what you said you do, that's how you turn a good intention into a real result. Number 2 is association, a community of tennis players who are in the exact same situation as you and understand what it feels like to have a serve that's not quite ticking or to walk off court knowing that they left points out there. Number 3 is answers, not from an app or from AI, but from a coach with expertise in both tennis and fitness. A coach that understands where you're at in your journey, who understands your current weaknesses and your limitations. A coach that can give you accountability and support. And number 4, analysis. A personalised breakdown of your serve in week 1 and 6, showing you your technical faults and physical limitations. Exactly what you saw me do with Phil, Jag and Tom, but for you. I want to finish by showing you 2 versions of yourself moving forward. Version 1, you choose to go it alone. And you take everything that you've learned from this challenge so far and try to piece it together yourself. And you might stick with it for a week or 2. You might go to the gym, try a few of the mobility routines, try some of the serving drills, but without accountability and support and a coach showing you what to work on and why, eventually your motivation will fade. Life gets busy, sessions get missed, and then 6 months from now you'll have the same serve and you'll be stepping up to the baseline wondering why nothing has changed. And it's not because you didn't try, it's because you didn't have the right support around you to see it through. Version 2, you invest in yourself today. This version of yourself will have a clear plan of what to do from day 1 and will have a personalised program built around your specific restrictions, a coach analysing your serve and telling you exactly what you need to do to unlock more serving power, a community of tennis players behind you to push you forward and hold you accountable, and weekly check-ins to make sure that you're on track, a more powerful serve, a leaner, toned, more athletic physique, more confidence on your serve, more energy on and off the court. That version of yourself exists. The only difference between where you are now and where that version of yourself is standing is one decision. So what version of yourself do you pick today? If the answer is version 2, scroll down and below this video there'll be a link which will take you to a simple sign up page and it'll take you around a minute to complete your registration. As soon as you've registered, I'll be in contact within 24 hours to book your onboarding call and then we can get to work on improving your serve. Remember, there are only 5 spots available for £147. Split pay is available and the discount is only available until the end of the challenge on Wednesday. After that, the program will go back to its usual price. If you have any questions before you decide, feel free to reach out to me. And thank you for your time and attention throughout this video and throughout the challenge so far. I'll see you on the inside.